Stolas wasn't a good demon. Don't get him wrong. He knew he couldn't control a lot of what made him not good, but it still stood that he was complacent in the bullshit that was being in Ars Goetia. He didn't contest the arranged marriage. He was an utter failure of a husband. How could he not be? From 18, Stella hated him. He did try in the beginning, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't something he felt was natural. He felt more at ease amongst the stars and supernovas, dirt and herbs than he did with any of the other Goetia. He tried to take Stella with him to view the cosmos, to admire the wonder that was his purpose as a prince. She wasn't interested. She was only interested in the finery, the jewels and silks. And don't even mention the consummation of their wedding vows, where he was so pitifully lost and a little scared. He'd never taken a lover before her. His father convinced him that royalty was only to couple with their chosen betrothed. At 18, taking her to bed, she had to instruct him on how to get her off, instructions that didn't occur to him until much later. That meant she knew her body and more about sex than he did, for a reason. He was never angry, though. He didn't have the right. Soon, they were told they had to fulfill their duty in providing a precautionary heir, another demon to be ordered around by Lord Paimon. He hated it. He hated most nights having to fuck Stella almost as much as she hated them. More than once the thought occurred that maybe he was the issue. Maybe he was just that undesirable to her. When they finally conceived, it was a relief for the both of them. One of the only times they got along. He held her as she sobbed, barely older than a child herself, laying that egg. They didn't kiss, but he preened her so delicately that night. Foolishly, he thought maybe they could at least become friends. She became softer to him as they took turns looking over the egg, warming it. He doted on her. As hard as he tried, he knew it wasn't love he felt, but fondness? Maybe? The first crack had her shouting for him, and him ripping a portal to get her as fast as he could. She held his hand as their daughter tumbled out of the egg, a piece of shell still upon her like a hat. He chuckled, taking a picture before gently lifting it off. Stella, we made that. She's beautiful. What shall we name her? I don't know. Not an S name, though. Too many of those. Octavia? He paused. I mean, if you have another, that's good. Elegant. Our Octavia. If he thought that their daughter was going to fix their relationship, he was soon sorely proven wrong. He would assume it's stress, but Stella had taken an immediate disinterest in the actual raising of little Via. He was the one in charge of almost all care if their nanny wasn't there. Stella was acting her age, attending parties, making friends, staying out late, and he let her. Avoidance was better than any alternative, some of which he hadn't experienced yet. Mid-20s now, they barely slept in the same bed. They had gotten better at their act, presenting as a united front to the other Goetia. She almost always had friends over or was attending outings with them, and unfortunately, that set the tone for how everyone treated him. As it turned out, their daughter was much better company than the other royalty. Everything was new and shiny. It was like he was her everything. He loved seeing her reactions to his magic, how he could make the stories he told her come to life. When she was little, it was so much easier to hide the tension between them. They ate meals together, made small talk. Octavia didn't know any better. As she grew older, it would be an issue they would have to confront. But for now... Mom, Daddy took me to Orion, Starshine, he gently corrected as she told both of her parents all about her day, as if one of them hadn't been the one to take her. And since my birthday is next week, Daddy said we could go to Lululand, all three of us. That made Stella give the owlet her full attention. He did now? Mm-hmm. Stolas, a word. Please. The added nicety made him shiver. He didn't like her tone. As soon as the door behind them closed, she hissed, "The fuck you mean we're taking her to Lululand? That place is disgusting. Imps and the ilk running around everywhere. We are royalty." Well, Stella, she's 4. You try telling her no. And Lululand isn't that bad. They have a circus and rides and she wants us to. Damn it, Stella, I'm doing what makes her happy, and she wants her mother along. I know you despise me, but she is not yet disillusioned that her mother and father are a princess and a prince. Let her keep this. I took over parenting without a fight. I leave you to your own. I attend those stupid fucking galas with you. But I will not break my little girl's heart. You are going to dote on her. Do you understand me? He had never raised his voice at the woman in their 5 years of marriage, but as she glowered at him, he felt the urge to scream. Fine. She stalked away, probably to complain to one of her snobby friends. Stolas returned, forcing a soft smile. We're so excited, Via. Your mother went to get her stuff a few days early. Yay! Once finally on the grounds, she sat upon his shoulders as she directed them to look at everything. When the high top came into the view, she squealed, Clowns! Mom, look, let's go see the clowns! Instantly, Stolas was transported to a different time. His birthday, only a little bit older than her. So excited to see the clowns and acrobats at a circus not much unlike this one. Of Blitz, his first friend. He hadn't thought of the small imp in so long. He wondered if he was still a performer. Laughing at their daughter's excitement, he led the way to the tent to show his daughter the best part of a circus. Soon they were seated in a stand of their own, Via between them clapping with excitement as the lights dimmed. And the announcer announced the one and only, the amazing Fizzarolli, that name. It was so familiar, but he couldn't place where until he saw the smaller man in his bionic limbs doing a cartwheel on a high wire. This was one of the imps that was with Blitz. Maybe his friend was still performing as well, and he could introduce him to his daughter. He was once again pulled out of his thoughts as Octavia was pointing out all of the tricks the other was doing. They were both enraptured, Stella scowling, but silent. As it ended, he couldn't help but notice there was no one that resembled his friend, but he couldn't dwell on it for too long, with his daughter's excitement. They spent the whole day until it was called out that the park was closing. Them leaving, holding a soundly asleep Octavia. As he went to tuck her in, Stella went to her room to clean the filth of that place off of her. Via was 10 and was to begin training with her grandfather and Stolas himself. She didn't get an object as important as his grimoire. You'll have mine one day, he explained to appease her as they started basically. He taught her fortunes, how to read the sky to see the fates. Dad, you'll be sad? Your fate says sadness. I think I'm doing it wrong. She grit her beak in concentration. I tried to look at you and Mom, and I didn't see anything. I think it's broken. He froze, frantically trying to think of a way to deflect. Oh, well, let's try again. Love fortunes are very hard for beginners. It's not your fault. He thought for a moment. Do one for my future. That should be easier. Okay. She stared, her eyes going red as her father's once again. Sadness, anger, love. More sad, and then love again, but brighter. Good job, my brilliant owlet. That's all for now. Why don't you go run and play? She smiled and took off, and he sat there, contemplating what that meant. He knew that he was unhappy now, but love? Stella had been gone all day. He didn't even care to ask where she was anymore. He got up, closing his grimoire and heading out to his garden. Now that she was older, he had been able to pick up horticulture again. He never thought the day would come. And at the same time, he's surprised it took as long as it did. They were arguing once again, and she'd been stalking closer and closer, until suddenly Stella reached out and backhanded him. As soon as she made contact, they both gasped, staring at each other, each trying to decide what to do. It was Stella that acted first, stepping back and fleeing before he could even process what happened. He just started giggling, reached up to touch the warming spot on his cheek, giggling hysterically until he realized he was choking back sobs. He let the tears flow. After that, it became more frequent, never in front of their daughter, never in public, but it was like she finally had the approval to say the most vile things. They finally slept entirely separate, to the extremes as different wings of the castle. She would be passive-aggressive in front of Via, but never outright cruel. Their staff had on more than one occasion had to clean up plates or vases or anything else that she had broken. It was sporadic. Sometimes it was weeks between her getting that upset, and other times several times a week. Through it all, he kept up with his duties and with teaching Via, who was steadily learning everything. It was obvious she didn't have his drive for it, but she dutifully came to him twice a week, learning spells, protections, how to control magic, to pour it into the work that they did for hell itself. But he could see that she was no longer the daddy's girl she once was, preferring to be alone, not even seeking out others her own age. He tried desperately to reconnect, but she was into such morbid things. She liked collecting bones, pelts, playing games on her computer, and listening to music much angrier than he had ever thought she was. He had gone to a doctor, asking about help for her, only through their discussion to be prescribed antidepressants himself, and told that she was just a normal teenager. For a moment, he flashed back to her mother at that age and wondered if that's what she had been like. If that's what had been wrong with Stella, with no one in her corner, and he had vowed to do all he could to be there for his daughter. He tried suggesting more trips, letting her pick, but now that was apparently lame. Sighing, he drug himself to his bathroom. Stella had informed him that there was a gala that she was hosting in the palace, and of course he had to attend to keep up the illusion. As he dressed and placed the crown upon his head, it had never felt heavier. They met each other in the main hall, Stella barely containing her scowl as he led her into the ballroom. Quickly, she broke away from him to go gossip with her friends, and he found a corner to sulk in. He saw a servant and took the bottle he was pouring the drinks from, downing it in one go, trying to make the night bearable. Soon, though, his security came, informing him that he had an intruder, and would he like to deal with the thief? The surprise he felt when they threw the imp at his feet in the quarters. "Thanks, assholes," they muttered as they stood up, brushing themselves off. "How stupid do you have to—" "Blitzo?" He cut himself off in surprise. "The O is silent now. Call me Blitz." "Blitz," he breathed. Long time no see, Bertie. Look at you. So tall." Stolas bowed, as he did as a child. Why are you here?" The imp shifted from side to side, his tail swishing. "Well, I was in the neighborhood, and, well, thought I'd crash the party, but your fucking security said no." "You came to see me?" Stolas asked in disbelief, a blush creeping up on his face. Blitz immediately catching on. "And see you I am. Damn. Who said you could be so pretty?" Oh, The prince was completely flustered. Did Blitz want him? Blitz had been slowly backing him towards his bed, but Stolas didn't feel threatened as he was being stalked. He felt thrilled. As he hit the side, he sat down and quickly had a lap full of imp, and found that for once he didn't feel sick at the notion. "You want this, pretty bird?" "Want what?" He was confused, hazy. "Me." "Yes," he breathed out. Of course, it was just to get his book. No one would ever want him. The imp woke before him, snatching his grimoire and leaping over his balcony, landing in front of Stella, shouting, "Sorry I fucked your husband," before scrambling away. Stolas awoke to her screaming his name in a rage and got to the balcony just in time to see Blitz scamper off, book in hand. This would be the end of him. Stella would kill him. He was miserable. She hated him. He took a breath, looked at the banner hanging from the railing, still not divorced. He laughed, a tiny but hysterical laugh. Fuck it. His life was over either way. Hey, Stella, I want a fucking divorce. Blitz was a fucking moron. Of course Stolas could track the magic book. The cold look in his eyes as he opened a portal behind Blitz, yanking him and the book through, placing him in his study. Red eyes glowed. Why? Why did you do it, Blitz? Manipulate me? Am I really that disgusting? Weak? Why? I need to know. Blitz opened his mouth to lie until the other's words hit him. What? Why did you find it so easy to deceive me? Did you think so little of me? Holy shit. You're a prince, and you think you're weak? Ass flash newshole, you could kill me. And he looked down, feeling slight shame. I need it for my job, and I remembered you showing me it from when we were little. I was expecting you to be busy. Did you want to fuck me? The prince asked bluntly. I mean, you sure as fuck aren't ugly, but aren't you married? Stolas sighed. Arranged marriage. She hates me. Blitz let out a low whistle. Yikes. I mean, her loss, he offered. Blitz, I think I have a preposition. Something we can both be okay with. Stolas felt attractive, wanted for the first time in his life. Hope he hadn't felt since Octavia was an egg. He wouldn't allow himself to think it, but he was worried he was falling in love. The feeling foreign, monthly visits where he was ravished, he got to explore. He wasn't broken, he was gay. That was the first thing Blitz informed him before they fucked for their next arrangement. Stoles, yeah, I'm gonna call you Stoles. You aren't broken. Shit. I knew you blue bloods were fucked, but this is... He ran a hand through the other's crest. This is wrong for you to think. Some demons are just gay. Me, myself, I'm pan. I don't give a shit. Did you really not know? Stolas couldn't meet his eyes. Oh, Bertie, come here. Let me teach you all about the joys of gay sex. Blitz grinned, pushing him back against the headboard. Blitz had a daughter. It was one of the first things Stolas had learned. Blitz was so proud of her, simply for existing. He sounded like how Stolas felt about his Via. She was adopted, but that obviously meant nothing to his love. She was in her early 20s, although seemingly stunted due to where she had come from. She was jaded, bitter. He couldn't tell, but he saw so much of his own in her. As the months passed, the girls had met. One of the first times they had seemed to ever truly get along was Earth, due to Stolas fucking up. Now that the divorce was actually in process, Octavia knew how her parents truly were, where she got to witness her father sobbing, alone, as he was using a salve of some sort over what looked like a black eye. She gasped, holding a sob and closing her portal she had created before her father could catch her. That night, they both cried themselves to sleep. The next full moon passed, and again. Soon she was seeing Blitzer on more than just once a month, and one morning he came out of her father's room, heading to the kitchen, and stopped, hearing whimpers from her room. Blitz tried to walk past, he really did, but he couldn't. He made his way to the princess's room. Octavia? Fuck, I heard you. Are you okay? He heard a muffled reply and knocked. Can can I come in? Whatever. He made his way inside. A room full of black and pink kind of reminded him of his Luna. Hey, what what's wrong? Dad is only happy with you, and I want to hate you all, but I can't. Mama's always telling me that Dad's a monster, how he never loved her, how he doesn't love me, but I don't believe her. Fuck, he sighed, closing her door behind him. I want to say you need to talk to Stolas about this, but I get it. Life sucks. And when you're young, you don't see it. You shouldn't. Mom and Dad, they were they were a prince and princess. I remember them being so sparkly and pretty all the times they told me they loved me. Was it a lie? She hugged her knees, looking down at Blitz, who hissed in reply. No. Look, Princess, your father loves you more than the universe. He would kill for you. He would die for you. Adults are complicated. Your mother loves you too. Just some people aren't meant to be together. But you are meant to be. I saw Mom hit Dad when I was like 11. I forgot honestly. She likes to throw shit at him. I I don't know. He would whisk me away in training to so many places. Mom would teach me to be a lady, and Dad was like, whatever. Luna tried to tell me it's not Dad's fault or yours, but I don't know. I'm so mad all the time, and if I can't be mad at them, it's gotta be my fault. Nope, don't even go down that path. You're just an unlucky bystander in all of this adult shit, and I think you need to learn how to work your emotions out. Hey, don't tell your dad, but if you ever want to do dumb teenage shit, text me, and I'll work on convincing your dad and letting you learn how to shoot or knife throw. Something cool and destructive. I'd like that. Thanks, Blitz. No problem, Princess. You can call me Octavia. It's kind of creepy when people are formal with me. You got it, Octopus. Octavia rolled her eyes, but she genuinely did feel better. He fucked up. Of course he fucked up. Blitz couldn't stand being around him. He was in the hospital, and Blitz was finally done. He was more trouble than he was worth. Finally. He waited and waited until, fuck you, Blitz. I'm so tired of this. You are a fucking adult, so sort your shit. He heard Luna snarl as his door was kicked open, and she literally threw the imp into his room, slamming it shut once again. Oh, hey, Stolas. Blitz would meet his eyes, and Stolas pretended that wasn't a dagger in his heart. So, Luna may, he sighed. Fuck, look, I'm bad at this shit, okay? Stolas just nodded. That's fine. No, it's fucking not. Blitz pretended he didn't see the other flinch as he yelled, Stolas, you don't want me. I'm no good. I ruined everything. You saw what V and Fizz said about me. It's true, and you know it. I used you. I keep using you. You could have so much better. You could have. I am a gay outcast prince who has been abused by my wife for the past 7 years. You are literally the best thing since Octavia in my life. You are an ass. But so am I. I used you just as much. You told me you needed the book to make a living. I could have given it without the clause, but I am just as selfish. I wanted you to want me, but I know you couldn't. No one wants a fuck up like me, and I accept it. I would love to call you my lover, but I know we will never. He was cut off by Blitz jumping onto his bed. Nope. Shut it. Stolas, Fuck. Everything in my being is telling me to fucking run? Kill myself? I don't know, but don't talk about yourself like that. It's wrong. I'm a moron. Everyone can see it, Stolas. I love you. Oh. Oh. The owl just looked at him for a moment before. I love you too, Blitzy.